Store-bought clothes are made to fit everyone, and because of that, they don't fit anyone. And at some point you're gonna realize that the problem, it's not you. It's not that you don't know how to shop. It's that they're all kind of against you. All the clothing manufacturers are against you. That's why it's a fantastic idea to learn how to tailor your own clothes, which is exactly what we do around here. And the cool thing about it is we only need 2 stitches, a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. And 99.5% of all sewing machines out there can make one of those 2 stitches. But as far as that zigzag stitch goes, there's some confusion that goes into it, and it really kind of trips up beginners a lot of times because there's parts about it that just aren't made clear enough for a beginner because you have no idea what a zigzag stitch is, you have no idea what its job is, you have no idea whether or not it's even necessary. A lot of tutorials will just say something like, use a zigzag stitch to seal off that raw edge, and you're like, okay, cool story, bro. What width? What length? Like, how do I set up my sewing machine to make a zigzag stitch? I don't know any of that stuff. And what the hell is a raw edge? I know, it can seem a little bit tricky, but it's not. I got you. Let's make it simple. What even is a zigzag stitch? Well, it's similar to a straight stitch in that as you are sewing along, the needle is going to move forward on your garment, right? Yep, exactly. But in addition to that forward movement, you're also gonna have some side to side movement as your needle goes along, and it's gonna create, guess what it's called? A zigzag pattern. I'm not gonna say parallelogram because I'm pretty sure I've made that joke like, I don't know, in my last 6 videos, and at this point it's not funny anymore. Yes it is, parallelogram. Now try and spell parallelogram. P-A-R-A-L-L-O-G-R-A-M? I don't know, I'll look it up later. As that needle moves from side to side as it sews along, it's gonna kind of seal off that raw edge by kind of wrapping around it and preventing it from fraying on you. Oh, and the raw edge is just the part that you cut off. You put a new straight stitch on there and then you cut off the old stuff. That's it. Cool story, bro, fantastic. But there's a couple of problems with that. Let's talk about them. The first one is making that zigzag stitch way too wide. Now, a wider zigzag stitch might kind of make sense in your head because that needle's gonna travel from side to side more, so as you're sewing along that raw edge, you have a lot more travel to work with, right? Yes, technically, and technically it will do its job as far as preventing that side seam from fraying on you, but there's a couple problems with that. If that zigzag stitch is too wide, it's gonna end up being way too bulky and way too messy. You're gonna feel it, and really at the end of the day, when it comes down to tailoring your own clothes, you want a lot of these alterations to kind of just disappear in the garment. You don't want them to be obvious. You don't want them to look like they've been altered. Well, I should say you want them to look like they've been altered, but you don't necessarily want to see the process of how it was done. And by that I mean the side seam is going to end up being a little bit puckered and kind of wavy, and everybody's going to know. That's a definite ask me how I know right there. Christmas of 2016. Yeah, I'll never forget that Christmas party. Yeah, did I look good in my dress shirt? Kind of. Did it also look ridiculous at the same time? Also kind of. When you're sewing a zigzag stitch and it is too wide, what's gonna end up happening is as that needle moves from side to side, it's gonna end up grabbing more fabric than it normally would, than it normally needs to, and it's gonna kind of warp things. It's gonna grab that fabric and it throws the tension off, and it kind of pulls it together a lot tighter than it normally would, which is what ends up creating that wavy seam that you'll see in the end. So if your fabric is like a thinner t-shirt or even a, let's say like a workout shirt, something like that, it's gonna really show on those. This one is kind of like life. It's like the complete opposite of what you would think, and that's making the zigzag stitch too narrow. Now, a narrow zigzag stitch has a very specific purpose, a very specific job. It can replace a straight stitch and should replace a straight stitch if you're doing anything like shortening a t-shirt. What it's going to do is it's going to give that t-shirt some stretch. You want to maintain that elasticity of the factory hem of that t-shirt, so you put a narrow zigzag stitch in there. A straight stitch, it doesn't have any stretch at all, it doesn't have any give. So it's going to end up probably breaking on you in the future, but a narrow zigzag stitch doesn't have that problem. But if it's too narrow, if the little zigzags are way too close together, then it's essentially just a straight stitch, and it completely defeats the purpose of using it as an alternative stitch. That really felt like a mouthful. Low hanging, that's what she said joke. Stitch width, more side to side movement, and the more side to side movement you have means those zigzags are going to end up being bigger or smaller. And if the zigzags are the right size, aka a little bit bigger than a narrow zigzag stitch, it's going to give them some stretch. Those zigzags have, space to move as far as that fabric goes. So if you're shortening a t-shirt or you're altering altering your workout clothes and the hem ends up ripping or the side seam ends up not being as stretchy as you want it to be, it's probably because your narrow zigzag stitch, it's too narrow. Oh man, using the wrong stitch length when you're making a zigzag stitch. Now the zigzag stitch has two main settings that you are going to want to be concerned with when you are making it. That's going to be the stitch width, and that's going to be the stitch length. The width we've already defined, we've talked about that ad nauseum at this point, but the stitch length is going to be different. It's going to determine how much space or how long each individual zigzag is going to be. And that matters because regardless of what you set the stitch width to, that same exact stitch, zigzag stitch can look completely different depending on what you set your stitch length to. If you set your stitch length too short, what's going to happen is that zigzag stitch is going to be really narrow and dense and bulky and thick, and it's basically gonna like scratch the side of your body. You're gonna hate it, it's gonna be really uncomfortable, and you're gonna wish you never tried tailoring in the first place. And if the stitch length is too long, what's gonna end up happening is there's gonna be really big gaps in between those individual zigzags. So if you're using it to protect that raw edge, it's not really protecting anything anymore because it's like a chain link fence, like just big gaps in it. That's not like a chain link fence, but you get the point. So if you're altering a pair of chinos as an example, and you're finishing up and you're putting that zigzag stitch on the edge there, what could happen is if the zigzag stitch is too narrow, you're kind of creating like this long cord of fabric, and you're gonna put those chinos on, you're gonna be like, yeah, they fit better, but they're also scratching the inside of my legs. This dude named SD who taught me how to use a sewing machine didn't warn me about that. I'm gonna get that guy. Well, I live pretty close to Prince's studio, so if you know where that is, you'll probably see me at a Target kind of around that general area. That's probably way too specific to like announce to the world, but meh, whatever. Here's one that a lot of beginners will notice and think about, but they won't necessarily put it into words. It's more of just like this abstract thought, and that is expecting a zigzag stitch to replace a serger. Now, a serger is a special sewing machine that's going to trim the fabric, and it's also gonna wrap up that raw edge all in the same motion. And it's gonna give you a nice, clean, finished look. That is the type of look you're gonna see on store-bought garments. That's why they look like that. They don't necessarily use a serger, but that's how you kind of get that result. Now, a zigzag stitch on a regular sewing machine is gonna be able to accomplish the exact same thing, but it's not going to look the same. It's not gonna look as pretty, and a lot of people kind of look at that and they're like, oh, well, I don't want it to look like that. It's not about looks. It's all on the inside of your garment at a place where nobody will be able to see it. It's about the final result, the fit. So I don't want you to go into this thinking that you're gonna get like factory looking results, and if you don't get those results, that you did something wrong or you messed up. You didn't at all. We're just using a different tool set than manufacturers do. You slim a t-shirt with a straight stitch and then you overlap it with a zigzag stitch, and it doesn't look the same as it did as you bought it. Does that mean that you failed? No, not at all. Again, just a different tool. So the next time me or anybody else out there says just use a zigzag stitch, don't stop there. You gotta ask a couple more questions. You know, what type of fabric am I working with? Am I using it as a main stitch, or am I just using it to seal off the raw edge? Woo! Let's go talk about another setting as to why your DIY tailor clothes might be coming out a little bit different than you want them to. That's gonna be your thread tension. That one's super easy to understand too, but it throws off beginners. It's in the next video. I'll see you over there. Goodbye.